On Saturday the 15th of September, the 2014 UK Festival of Zombie Culture, or Day of the Undead as it's also known, took place in Leicester. Held at its traditional venue, the Phoenix Arts Cinema, the festival is now in its 8th year and is now officially Leicester's longest running film festival. Boasting over 13 hours of zombie movie mayhem, people came from all over. Many dressed as zombies themselves to watch the films, get drunk and take part in various other zombie activities, which included talks from zombie authors Millard and David Moody. There were also various zombie arcade games for people to amuse themselves with, and there was a number of makeup tutorials. There was also a competition for the best dressed zombie, which went to this chap, who'd based his costume on an obscure zombie short film called Cargo. But of course the main reason people turned up for was the films. Hosted as always by the show's organiser Zombie Ed, the first of these being Bombshell Bloodbath. Sort of Lucio Fulci meets H.P. Lovecraft, this horror comedy revolves around a scientist who's found a method of bringing the dead back to life but hasn't quite perfected his formula, as he finds the newly reactivated corpses have developed a taste for human flesh and things predictably go awry. Overall I enjoyed this, but it's a very low budget film featuring a lot of no-name first-time actors, so don't expect the Royal Shakespeare Company in terms of the cast acting abilities. Fans of low-budget movies will probably love it, but fans of mainstream Hollywood fare will probably not. The film's not yet been released to disc anywhere, but I'll hopefully be posting news about this on my website when it does finally come out. Next was the film Exit Humanity, which was really more of a period drama. Set towards the end of the American Civil War, the fighting between US and Confederate forces is brought to a swift close when a zombie outbreak occurs, and the film follows a lone soldier as he wanders around the countryside looking for a shelter and a place to scatter his son's ashes. Quite impressive for what was obviously a low-budget movie, it features a number of well-known horror actors, including Bill Moseley, who plays a Confederate general conducting bizarre experiments on the dead, and Dee Wallace, who plays a mysterious old lady. The film is also narrated by Brian Cox. No, not that one! Yes, that Brian Cox. Overall I thought this was quite good, but it did come across as being more of a post-Civil War drama than a zombie film. I thought it was well made, but it was a touch slow. This one's currently out on DVD for those interested in checking it out. After that was arguably my favourite film of the festival, Goa Gone. Described as a Harold and Kumar meet Shaun of the Dead, this Indian zombie film sees a couple of work-shy slackers and their long-suffering flatmate head over to a remote island just off the coastal resort of Goa for a rave party. Unfortunately, a new designer drug being handed out has some serious side effects, turning the ravers into bloodthirsty zombies, and the trio, with the aid of some Russian mobsters, have to try and make it off the island alive. This was bloody good fun and had the audience in hysterics all the way through, though the film is in Indian with English subtitles, so you really do need to pay attention to this. The film is out on disc and is well worth picking up in my view. Following on from that was an Australian film, Theatre of the Dead, where a group of performers rehearsing for an upcoming stage musical emerge from their theatre to find a zombie apocalypse is now in full swing. Now this was your typical people trapped in a building with zombies outside sort of film, the only difference being that the building in question was a theatre this time. Now this one was okay, but I wasn't too keen on it, and none of the characters were particularly likeable, and it did seem to be a bit on the slow side. The film is currently doing the rounds on the festival circuit, but has not yet been released to disc. The next film was another one that I quite enjoyed, Juan of the Dead. Now this one's been out on disc for a little while, but this was the first time that I'd seen it. Set in Cuba, a group of slackers set themselves up as zombie exterminators when the country is affected by an outbreak of the undead. Unfortunately things don't go to plan, and when the undead finally take over the city, the group find themselves looking for a way to escape the country and get to Miami. Full of slapstick humour, this one went down a storm at the festival and is another one that I thoroughly enjoyed. The festival closed with a screening of the New Zealand film I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, in which a film crew making a zombie film get more than they bargained for when their set is overrun by a group of real zombies who proceed to eat the cast and crew. The film is largely told from the perspective of the nerdy set assistant named Wesley, who has to try and survive the zombies, rescue the catering girl that he particularly likes, and escape the blood-soaked chaos. Now, I thought the film was quite funny. It wasn't completely brilliant, but it did entertain me for its duration. This is another one that hasn't been released to disc yet, so keep an eye out for it. After that, it was time to head for home, which in my case meant a 90-minute drive back in the dark. The UK Festival of Zombie Culture is held mid-November every year at the Phoenix Arts Centre in Leicester. For more information on future events, you can visit their website at terrorforfun.com, or you can follow them on Twitter or Facebook.